All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am Sheila Perot of Blue Nest Home, and this is Jacqueline, and she is one of our senior organizers and currently works on working with individuals in your homes, helping you get organized. What's your specialty?
Purging. Really helping people, guiding them with purging and being comfortable with it, and like helping them make mindful decisions coming in. And we've also started doing virtual since the last couple months for obvious reasons. So that's been going really well. And I've also been helping Blue Nest with estate sales as well.
Yeah, and so we do quite a few estate sales for clients who are either downsizing and maybe moving into senior housing or into a smaller apartment. We help them figure out what they're going to take with them. We can help move them across the country if necessary, unpack them. But a big part of that is, what do you do with all the stuff that they don't take when they're downsizing, or if they've passed away and their loved ones are dealing with this stuff? We do online estate sales with that. And then we also, in addition to that, we do home keeping, which is home cleaning on steroids and concierge service. Whatever we can do to make your life easier, just ask us. And we also do move out cleans and move-in cleans and porta clean outs and all of that fun, exciting stuff. And then in all of our services, we provide an initial consultation in-home or virtually at no cost. So you can just give us a call, and one of us will come out and meet with you either online or in your home and kind of brainstorm and figure out a plan for you and talk about an estimate. So those are our services. Okay, and then last week, if you joined us, we talked about creating mind space. We talked about you can't start tackling the piles inside your house or where all these projects until you clear out some space up here. And so we talked about creating the mind space of that, minimizing social media, and we talked about encompassing social media being anything that you do online or TV, any of those time-sucking things, Facebook, emails, TV, Netflix, binge watching, YouTube,
games like computer
games on your phone, just scrolling on your phone endlessly at news, that type of thing. And so if you joined us last week, we kind of want an update. Did you think about it? Did you focus on it? Did you have a chance to work on the worksheet that we sent out? Does anybody have anything they want to add to that?
I did work on it.
Yeah.
After we talked about it, I got a little like, oh my gosh, I need to fine tune a few things, and I added more what do you call it, timeout settings on my social media. So like a little dial will come up and be like, you've reached your limit, and it's really made a difference. I'm like, all right, I'm fine with that, but I'm glad I changed that up.
Yeah.
What is that timeout thing? I don't understand that.
Oh shoot, I was gonna say I could show on my phone, but my phone's recording. So when you go to your settings, I think it's under general, and it can be, I think it's called, do you have it on your settings if I could look? I can maybe show it on the screen.
Every phone has it. You want to go into your settings, and then it's usually under general.
Oh wait, you know what? Or is it this one? Hold on. Is it screen time?
Screen time.
So you hit screen, it says screen time, and it looks like a little like sand dial. And from there you can change any of your settings, which is really nice. So I used I think weekly reports, and then also you could do
turn on screen time.
Turn on like you can have it set so like you could say I only want to be on social media or games for like an hour, or whatever limit you want. And then once
Yeah.
it hits, it gives you, it'll be like, just so you know, you have 15 minutes left, like a banner will come up. And then after that, it's like, time's up. And it's really, really helped me. I had a little bit, but then I was like, you know, I'm going to like break it down because I never seem to really hit the limit. And then I like did it for just a day, every day for it to remind me and shut it off. It's been so nice because I'm like, you know, I'm done. And then I kind of just get on my other thoughts and, you know, get back to my life.
And I had been already practicing limiting my time. And for me, I get sucked in if I look at it too early in the morning. And so I set my alarm, I get out of bed, I have my coffee, I make my bed, I work on planning out what my plans are for the day, and I don't use my phone.
Oh,
And so that helps me a lot. A lot of times I'm not looking at my phone until I'm getting ready to walk out in the morning. I have a Google voice thing set up in my bathroom where I say, hey Google, what's on the calendar for today?
Yeah.
And it tells me my schedule
like
for the day, which is great. I don't have to look at my phone.
I was gonna say, which is more important than like fishing through, you know, just, you know, social media or whatever. Yeah, I like that. I also put a journal next to my bed, so when I wake up, I journal. When I like if I had a weird dream or something, I journal versus go towards my phone. But little things. It just was literally I had a notebook and I was like, all right, I want to put this in my bed so I don't like reach for my phone as much.
So just when you are, so what we're trying to do now through November is kind of give you some ideas to build upon. So moving forward, just keep an eye on how much time you're spending on social media and ask if it's taking you in the direction that you want to go. And so one of the things that we talked about last week is jotting down notes in 3 categories that we're going to focus on and build on during the next few weeks. And those 3 things are personal growth, friends and family, and hobbies. And when you look at those 3 categories, think about what or who brings you joy, inspires and motivates you, and challenges you to think differently. And then focus on those 3 items and think about who falls into those categories. What hobbies do you want? Where do you want to grow? And then your decisions that you make regarding your social media and all the other topics that we're covering should help you support where you want to grow in those areas.
I think they all interconnect. I've started noticing since I did a little like, I really actually got kind of into this worksheet. Normally not a worksheet person, but I was like, oh, it was just a little too. I really didn't go overboard with a lot. But then for this week, because I kind of knew what we were going to be covering for this week, I felt like it really connected, and it was a little easier because I already, I guess, cleared my mind.
Cleared the space.
Once again, Sheila was on point.
Clear the space. Okay, so now that we've hopefully have cleared a little space in our brain, now I want to jump in and talk about time management. And if you checked Meetup this morning, I did post on there the worksheet that we're working on this week, and it's called Progress Time Management. And so again, we're not going to say, okay, we're going to plan our day. Every day this week, we're going to get up at 6 a.m. and by 9 a.m. we're going to have this accomplished. No, we're not going to, it's not that rigid. It's, you're going to work on progress, right? So just taking a little bit at a time. And so what I have learned over the years is that rarely do the big thing, like when we make big decisions, does it make a big impact, right? It's usually little tiny decisions that have stacked on top of each other.
Like a ripple effect.
It has a ripple effect, and one day you're like, wow, that's a really, that's a really big decision. And so taking those baby steps and adding on to it can make a big difference. And so time management is the same way. A lot of times we feel like we're out of control, that we don't have enough time.
We're always running late.
And the truth is, we are all gifted with the same amount of time in a day. And it's how we utilize that time and manage it, that dictates how much we get done.
Yeah. And like, I think it's an important topic too, because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves and a lot of guilt, like, oh, I didn't finish, da 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 da. Like a lot of times, even for example, like a lot of even the organizing clients that I've had recently, there's a lot, because a lot of people are working at home. They have their kids at home. And they'll be like, oh, well, I wanted to redo the media room. And I'm like, how about just start with like, having a place to put your shoes in the front, like, or just deciding what DVDs you like.
Yeah.
It's like, don't, it's okay. Like, you don't have to pressure yourself to fill every single second of your day with this like major, powerful, life-changing project.
And think about it, instead of managing the clock, think about managing your energy.
Yeah, big time. Because if you're drained on energy.
Yeah, you can't go at 100% all day long, every single day, and expect to be able to maintain that. And so what I want to look at is thinking about how 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a big impact. And so last week, somebody mentioned, and I believe it was Cindy, was talking about she's done all the easy things, and now she's ready for the big things, and it's really overwhelming.
I just drew a blank. I was going to say something.
So
sorry.
If you take those big projects, and I don't know why this is on my head, but it takes me back to a client that was dealing with her mother had passed away, and it was a very complicated estate, and she literally had tubs and tubs of estate paperwork and documents and photos and everything from her mom. And it was really overwhelming, right? It was this big project, and in her head was, I have to fix this. I have to take care of this. And when you look at it that way, that's overwhelming. In our head, sometimes we think, okay, if I just had a full Saturday to sit down and work on this, or if I just could take all Thursday, and then somebody gets sick, or you have to run an errand, or life happens. Right?
Yeah, or I think sometimes a lot don't realize that it's so draining and emotional. Like, I definitely recommend with that kind, like you said, 5-10 minutes every other day or something. You look at these stacks or these tubs, you were saying, do this much. Don't do the whole tub. It's okay.
Yeah.
I know people want it like gone and vanished, but like, if it's emotional, there's a lot of sorting and filing, break that down.
It can take a lot of time. Yeah. And so break up projects into mini tasks, and not many, M-A-N-Y, but M-I-N-I, mini task. And just focus on 5 or 10 minutes a day, and so a couple of items. Should we go over the different techniques?
Oh yeah, that's probably, because I was thinking too, like with these big projects, some of these kind of mini things, at least then you feel accomplished, versus like, I still have all this. It's like, but if I'm doing little bits, I notice that makes a huge difference. Like we were saying, like, because we've had a lot of busy weeks with estate sales and just booked. I'm like, but I don't want to neglect my space and my emotional state. So like, I've been just doing minute little things, and that's all I've needed to feel actually really good. And then the weekend comes and I don't feel like, like I didn't do anything, or my weekend's just going to be a bust. I don't even like to do some of this stuff on the weekend. I'd rather enjoy, especially if we have some nice weather.
And I was just thinking, when we do these estate sales that are huge, we go in and we tackle one pile at a time. That's all we do.
And we always like to finish one room at a time too. We don't
and
go all around.
We can get through a house in just a matter of days. Of course, we have a team of 3 to 5 people, typically, but sometimes it's 1 or 2.
It's still really impressive, to be honest.
We also don't have the emotional connection.
That's the thing too. That's a big difference. But it still can get emotional, because it's still a lot of stuff, and you're like, I feel bad, like the family's like lost all this or this and that, but Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this last one we did was a 3 level, and it's only been 2 weeks, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chunk it down.
Yeah.
And thank you, Christine. You shared the worksheet, and I remember last week
perfect.
I sent a link for the actual PDF, so it prints nicely, and I'll do that again this week. I spaced that. I thought it looked funny, but I couldn't quite figure out.
That's right. I forgot we did
I'm
that.
going to share my screen, and we will take a look at
There
it.
it is. Okay.
View, page display. Why isn't it doing what I did before?
Is it print preview?
Full screen.
There we go.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Give me a nod, Gail and Christine, if you can or you're seeing my screen. Okay. All right. So when you're working on this, again, reiterate the 3 categories that bring you joy, inspires and motivates you, and what challenges you to think differently. Write those down in the 3 categories: personal growth, friends, family, and hobbies. And then these are your values, right? So everything, all your decisions should be focused on these, and how does it support you on those. And so jot down how you intend to plan those into your day. For example, tonight I will have a sit-down dinner with my spouse at 6 p.m. Just jot it down, or say it out loud. Can go a long way to actually making sure that you make it happen.
Mental note too.
Yeah. And then think of little actions that can add up to big rewards. So tackle the big projects by looking at them as mini tasks. And so I left some blank spots in there for you to write down your own ideas. And then I added some ideas that we share with our clients sometimes. And we'll go over those and how you can apply them to the big items that you have, and how you can plan those into your day. So a 5-minute power purge. Again, because we're looking at things you can do in just 5 or 10 minutes that will add up. So a 5-minute power purge is grab 2 sacks, and it can be those plastic sacks that are now banned, a paper sack, a garbage bag, whatever you want it to be. One is for garbage and one is for donated items. And so run around your house and challenge yourself to find 20 things you can donate, or fill the sack or the box, whatever you're working with, and throw away 20 things or fill the sack.
Okay,
so,
sorry, this is funny because I did this 2 times this week at clients. We filled 4 black garbage bags of garbage at one house in 5 minutes. I'm not lying. It's 5 minutes. I looked at the clock and I was like, whoa. But surprisingly, it was a bunch of kind of like bags and receipts from bringing in groceries. And then cardboard empty boxes. Let me tell you, those empty boxes.
Amazon boxes, especially during.
And he was laughing because he's like, the whole floor is clear now, like in 5 minutes, and 4 bags. I mean, he was pumped, but like, that's how quick, and what a difference, like right away. You just feel like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and you think, I always think, oh, my house is breathing lighter now.
Yeah. Or your car. That's a nice one for your car too. Grab a garbage bag, just 5 minutes. Like
just 5 minutes. Yeah.
You know.
And if you need to set a timer, the timer really works too if you don't want to do it.
Yep.
And that's one that's on my list to talk about too. Is I'm going to share a couple of resources with you that you can learn if you want to dive more into progress time management. I'm going to quickly talk about 3 resources for you to check out. One is Mel Robbins. She has a lot of podcasts and books, but she's the author of the 5-second rule. And so I do that every morning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I get out of bed when my alarm goes off. I don't hit snooze anymore, which is a huge, you can ask my husband, I was a huge snoozer.
I've been doing that for like, okay, get up and get going.
And so that's one resource for you to look into. The other thing is if you're having trouble like keeping your space cleaned and organized and maintained, One of the resources is on YouTube, and it's The Secret Slob. And she just finished up a 21-day challenge using the Fly Lady method. And if you're not familiar with the Fly Lady method, check out the Secret Slob's videos where she talks about that, or you can Google Fly Lady. It's been around for many years. I think pushing 30 years.
Yeah, I was gonna
something
say,
like
I feel
that.
like it's been a while. And the Secret Solver, I think she's very realistic.
Yeah,
you can really connect
very
with her.
realistic.
Yeah,
And her videos are very short, like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then another schedule that works for some people is block scheduling. And Jordan Page has an excellent program describing out the block schedule. And so those are just a couple of resources that you can use. But one of the things that Mel Robbins says is, don't wait for your motivation to hit you. If you're waiting for the day you wake up and you're like, today's the day.
Yeah.
I'm going to tackle that room.
I
feel good about it. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? That day may never come.
Mm-hmm.
Or those thoughts and feelings can be fleeting, right? Because you get into the work and it's hard.
Yeah. I feel like you can talk about them a lot, but the action is where they'll see the difference.
So
or feel the difference.
Do it anyway. Even if you don't feel like it, do it anyway. So if you don't feel like doing a 5-minute power purge or dusting one room or working on these things, do it anyway. We're here to tell you.
And you can grump your way through it, you can, every time you throw something out, you can yell at it. Like, that feels good.
And you can put it off, but that's not really projecting you towards your bigger goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to be there, and it's still going to be occupying space in your mind and stuff. So suck it up, Buttercup. Do it anyway.
Yeah. And along with that, I think we had discussed this earlier too. A big one that I actually still say it out loud, like, I don't really need the timers as much anymore. I have a pretty good go with that. Or I actually, as corny as it sounds, like, I have a little record player, and once the record's done, I'm like, I'm done cleaning. So so it's like I don't really necessarily need a timer. But one thing I repeat in my head is the saying, if not now, when? For a lot of these little itty bitty things, like I splattered something the other day, and I kind of like quickly wiped it, but I was like, I really need to spray it. And I was like, you know what? If not now, when? Because otherwise it gets grimy and stuck. A couple of things I had in the bathroom that I really needed to put away. And it was bedtime, but I was like, you know what? I had to push. I was so tired, but I woke up this morning, I'm so glad I just had a clear place to get ready this morning. So, sometimes even with the little things, if you say these kind of things, if not now, when, or just do it, in the grand scheme of things, and it seems like your day is not as heavy, or these projects aren't as heavy, like, or putting, if not now, when can help with just, I think, little things like the groceries or,
And you practice saying this to yourself. So I also want to touch on negative self-talk.
Yeah.
So instead, when you catch yourself saying, oh my God, what an idiot, you've put this off for so long.
I didn't do it again today.
What a slob, why can't I get my act together? These things go through our head. And what next time, kind of, when you catch yourself doing that, say, oh no.
It's okay.
It's okay. If not now, when?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it anyway.
And also, if not now, when, you could, it doesn't have to be now, but you could say, you know what, I do have time on Saturday, and that's fine. And I'm okay. My day was great.
I'm going to do 5 minutes.
I'll do 5 minutes Sunday or Monday or whatever,
And so the 5-minute power purge, another helpful thing to do is make a list of chores that take 5 minutes. So I've talked about this before, and I may have said it last week too. Long time ago, before I ever had kids. So my oldest is going to be 20 on September 30th. And I was working with this lady who had worked at the company for like 30 years, and she'd raised her family and stuff. And she said something, she was waiting for her husband, and she thought, oh my gosh, he's gonna take forever. I've got 5 minutes. I'm gonna go and load the dishwasher. It only takes 5 minutes. And I thought, oh my God, it only takes 5. I hate unloading the dishwasher. In my head, it takes like 2 hours, right? It only takes 5 minutes? What? I've been putting off something that only takes 5 minutes. And so that resonated with me. What chores take 5 minutes to do? And we hate doing them. And in our head, we make it this big task that is just horrible. And so make a list of those chores that take 5 minutes to do. Unloading
or
the
chores that you
dishwasher.
could maybe make 5 minutes, like we were discussing earlier too. My upstairs bathroom, it just always seems to just not have good airflow, and the sink's always ugh. So I just have Clutter or the new Dawn spray one. I just spray it and it does the work. I don't have to scrub. But it used to be daunting for me. I do this, I'm going to have to scrub. Probably did only take 5 minutes, but now it only takes 1. Because I was like, I'm going to upgrade my tool. I'm going to simplify
Just
this.
spray it.
Yeah. And it really does. It just like cleanses itself. So, but I really like that too, because a lot of times we dread these things and then we time ourselves. I'm like, oh, that was easier than I made it out to be.
So think about what really does take just 5 minutes to do.
Yeah.
Focus on the negative self-talk, stop it in its tracks and say, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. If not now, when? I'm gonna do it anyway.
And know that life happens. Sometimes things get backed up and clutter just comes out of nowhere from family members or, you know.
And then another 5-minute task, grab 5 inches of paperwork. If that's too overwhelming, grab an inch of paperwork and do a quick sort.
Yeah.
Throw away, recycle. If something needs filing, just at least put it in the filing cabinet. You don't have to file it. Just put it in the filing cabinet. In the front of my filing cabinet, I have a 2-file file. And so I just throw everything in there. And then when I have to file it, tax time usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if it gets too big, you know, it's there. But just do a quick sort on that. Dust one room. You're having coffee, maybe you're talking on the phone, grab a rag, go around the room, dust it.
That's why I love headphones.
We talked about using a timer. Clean out one drawer. So if you have, you know, you can no longer shut a drawer because there's too much stuff falling out of it or whatnot.
Or just been neglected,
Set a timer, clean out one drawer, drink your cup of coffee in the morning, clean out one drawer. Here's a good one. Quit one thing. It is so fast to quit something. If you have taken on too much. And you know what it is. You said yes to something. You weren't really sure about it, or you thought, oh, I could get into this. And now you dread it. It's not.
And it could be weeks away too.
And it's not taking you to those 3 areas up above that we talked about: personal growth, friends, family, or hobbies. It's not fitting into that. It's okay to quit something. It's okay to say, I apologize for saying I would do this, but I'm unable to fulfill it.
Yeah, that was originally, I think it was KATE Northrop. She had the Do Less program, which I think you can still see a bunch of her resources on there. And I remember the one assignment we had, we looked at our calendar, like I actually still like my paper planner, and she said, take 3 things off of it. I took 6. I was like, all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I just don't have time for that. And I can't see this person. And it was not a problem. No, everybody understood. It didn't become an issue. And like, that's a big thing. I still do. Like, if I'm getting really overwhelmed, I purge actually my schedule, my calendar.
My husband has a saying. He'll say, I must be going blind because I just can't see myself doing that. So it's okay to quit one thing. Send the email, send the text, make the phone call, whatever you need to do. And I hate it when I publish something and then I see a typo. Clean out your bag. Clean out your bag or purse. This is a big thing for women or men who take backpacks into work.
Your work bags.
Have you ever stopped and thought about you're carrying around a garbage can? Wrappers get put in there. Tissue, stuff you don't need. A fresh bag or purse can really make you feel lighter.
That's a big one. I liked how you were saying too, like the clean out the one drawer. We were discussing this too. If you have to rehome stuff, just know you're focused on the drawer. So if you're like, okay, in this drawer, like say like I hate the word junk drawer, but junk
Mhm.
drawer. You got tools, but you're like, I really do want these ones in the garage. Or if they work there, that's fine. But like, just kind of put them in their new homes. You don't have to perfect it. Just focus on finishing that one drawer and be okay with it.
Mhm.
You know, be like, sometimes in the living room we'll go around and we'll find a hamper full of clothes or toys that need to go somewhere else. Just put it kind of where it's supposed to go. If you have a system that's easy to pop it back, that's fine. But as long as you just do that one little section you
Get
wanted.
it into its zone.
Exactly. It's not, don't pressure yourself to be like, well, now it's in there. I got to do that room. No, that's okay.
Mhm. And then also delegate one thing.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
So, and there's nothing saying that you can't delegate more than one thing, but remember, we're trying to break things down into many tasks.
Yeah.
And so if you can delegate one thing, even if it is delegating something to your child, maybe like, hey, I see you have all your Legos out. Here's a box, pick up all the Legos and take them to your room. Can be a huge thing. Or delegating bigger things if if it's at work, if you need to delegate something, or if you need to delegate something to your spouse, or if you have the funds and you need to delegate cleaning or landscape, somebody else to mow your yard.
Yeah.
If you're able to do that, delegate it because it will.
Or if you
it'll
need like I was gonna say like somebody. No, I was thinking like accountant. Like if you need someone to like do your taxes and your finances, like and you're just like I can't. If you have a business, stuff like that. Just know your limits and your boundaries with it.
And just think about if you do get stuck and you're not motivated. Take a look back at those things that are bringing you joy, inspiring you, motivating you, and what challenges you to think differently in personal growth, friends, family, and hobbies, and ask if the decision that you're making, is that taking you closer or further away from those categories? Because we want to be moving closer to it, right? Because those are the things that really matter, not the piles of junk around you.
Yeah.
And so I'm making little steps to clear the piles, to go through them, to get closer to those three categories. That's what we're trying to go.
Yeah. I like how you just said that too. You don't want to be focusing your energy and your time into the clutter. I mean, I know it overwhelms and you want to get it done, but it's like if you can break it up, so then you can enjoy like your couple little hobbies that you like to do more, and maybe even you could have then grow more, like not just 5-10 minutes. Because I've been trying to do it. I'm like, okay, let me sit down and do a little bit of this hobby that I like. But now I'm like, okay, now I have a half an hour I could do, or an hour, which is really nice. Or I can take a longer walk. So sometimes, like you said, clearing. The big key to, I think, was last week, clearing your head and really focusing, like, what do I really want to, what do I really enjoy? And I was like, I don't really enjoy a lot of this social media. I really don't. Like, I do like some of the videos we both enjoy, like that. I told you I really like the Minimal Mom. Her videos are a couple minutes, maybe sometimes longer, but it'll get me motivated, gives me ideas for work. And sometimes I like to watch like decorating videos for the holidays. I think that's fun. Because it'll inspire me in my life as well. But for the rest of social media, I'm like, I don't like a lot of it right now. And that's okay, like.
And there's a difference between sitting down and watching one and getting inspired.
Yeah, and then otherwise just scrolling kind of through nonsense or like negativity if you have it. But I've been trying to really, like you said, just really have what I enjoy, so it doesn't distract me or like bring me down and stuff like that.
Okay, so I think.
I was going to see if I saw any questions.
Yeah, let's open it up to questions. And again, we love feedback and comments. So if you have a question regarding time management, go to the chat feature and type it out, or unmute yourself and ask us.
Yeah.
If you like this format or you hate it, let us know.
Yeah, and it's always no pressure, like to do anything that we suggest, but just tips and tricks. And I did notice a client last week, she's followed a couple things. Like she kind of weeded out what she worked for her, which I think was perfect. I'm like, some things might not work. For example, I think two things have been coming up again with people: the KonMari folding and this home edit rainbow color coordinating.
Oh,
If it works for you. If it doesn't, don't pressure yourself. Like if it doesn't save you time and you're like, no, I thought this was gonna save me time, it's okay. Like edit and change how things go.
Mm-hmm.
What was the spray cleaner?
Oh.
I don't know if you want to spell that. It's KRUD and then CUTTER. And I like the original one.
Clutter.
It's earth friendly, and I don't know what magical powers it has in it, but basically my sink, you just watch it just clean itself.
And it's all natural?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It doesn't cause asthma when you spray it?
And that's the thing, I have really, really asthma, and I'm fine in the bathroom with it. That, and then Blue Dawn now has come out with like this spray nozzle. I don't know if you can refill it, maybe you probably can. But it does like a mist, and it's like foams, and it does the same thing. It just takes off, like you can use it on pretty much all your pots and pans, I believe.
That's a new, it's a
really
new product, and
The Blue Dawn one is
I found it at Target.
okay.
But I was at Costco last night, and they have 2 spray bottles with 2 refills for like $7. It's a really good buy. So if you go to Costco, you can get it there. But what I like about it is, what I like about the Dawn spray is if you aren't doing a full dish load of dishes, and you just have like one pot to clean or just a couple of things, you can spray it on there, and it sprays it on really thin, but it sprays the whole thing. So instead of like dripping in a few drops,
I feel like I get wasteful with just a drop.
It's still in it, and it's Dawn, so it cuts through everything.
It really does. I like literally did my whole spaghetti stuff the other day.
And
like, wow.
I'm almost disappointed in myself that I like it so much.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to cleaning products.
It's so funny you said the same thing with me. Like, do I really need this one? But it's a game
I do like it.
Yeah.
And they're not sponsoring this, by the way. I wish they would.
Not sponsored yet. No, just kidding. I want to say Dawn and the Clutter. I believe I saw it in Walmart, but I also seen it on Amazon. Trying to think of Clutter else I've seen the original one. I definitely know Walmart and Amazon. I'm not 100% about Target though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Christine's ready to get some 5 minutes thing done. Yeah, just think of them in 5 to 10 minutes. You'll be amazed at how much you can get done.
Make a chart of lists that give you joy, inspiration, differently.
Write it down. I didn't hear. Okay. Hello, Cindy.
Hi. When I'm taking notes on what you're saying, I don't hear every word. So I totally did not at all hear what spray you were talking about. And you keep mentioning these really 3 important points, but I didn't see them written down at the top of the chart. Maybe every single chart, you should have that list at the top.
Oh, it is.
It is?
It is on there. Yep. So let me share the screen again, and I'll show you.
I think I see what she's saying.
So it's at the top. It says, what brings you joy, inspires and motivates you?
And then you write it in these.
I think they should be bullet points, not just in the middle of the sentence, because I don't read sentences. I read bullet points. That's my time management technique.
All right. I can try to do that next week, but if you have, so these should fairly stay consistent over the next few weeks. They may shift gradually, but if you are able to write these down in your notebook or on a Post-it note where you can see them, put them on your refrigerator or hang this on your mirror in your bathroom so you're looking at it.
Because the repetitiveness is what will stick.
Yeah.
You know.
But I will take that tip, Cindy, and I'll try to make them some bullet points in there.
Make it a little bolder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're focusing on what brings you joy, what inspires and motivates you, and what challenges you to think differently.
I like the focus.
Yeah, I didn't even read that sentence. Like I said, I see a sentence and I ignore it.
That's okay. We all do that sometimes. I'm like, I guess I should have just read the instructions all the way through.
Yeah.
Instead of just like made it up in my head. But I like to focus on that because I do think a lot of that gets lost in our mind and our shuffle. Like, and then I even stepped back like over the weekend. I was like, whoa, like I'm glad I set my timers on the social. I mean, I've been doing it, but I'm glad I really edited it and got a little more structured because I was like, this really doesn't make me so happy. And I've kind of navigated. I'm like, oh, I really like these ones, but I don't like this. And that's been really, really helpful. And the motivation too, because oh my gosh, definitely hit a wall with motivation lately.
Gotta do it anyway.
Yeah, gotta do it anyway.
And then if you've had anything that you've had success with time management, let us know too, because we love to get feedback on that. That's how I feel. It's like our database of information that we can take and share with other people.
Tips from other people in different situations. Because I mean, right now I don't have kids, and like I'm really trying to help a lot of people that are at home. So to learn different tips about that is always I'm grateful for. Man, I was just gonna say something. I should write down my notes as I'm talking, but and it doesn't have to be perfect right away. Like this, we've gathered tips and practice a lot of this. Like I now can say like this does take me 5 minutes because I have a system set up, but that was because I eliminated stuff that was just not helping me. It was just bothering me. And even like I said, like I now can 5 minute this stuff because I have the tools and tips and tricks at this point. So like we all can get there, but it's just like kind of like one step at a time and one thing at a time, one maybe area that you're like, I really want this chore to go quicker. And I usually think there's probably something you can do. I mean, I was thinking, Clean My Space is a really good resource too. I guess we could write down a list in the,
we can write down a list of our resources. Because I also want to touch base on a really good resource who focuses, his name is Alan Brown, and his focus is on people who have ADD. And he has a website called addcrusher.com, but his words of wisdom can be used for anybody, but he styles it directly for people with ADD. And he has a blog that talks about forget time management. It's all about energy management. And he focuses on the 4 types of energy management. There's emotional energy, spiritual energy, mental energy, and that's 3. I said 4 types. Physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. And so that's another great resource in there too.
I see that being really helpful, especially with like the guilt again. Being able to focus on what energy you're taking out or putting in.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions that they want to shoot or comments that they want to share in the chat
any
message?
Resources,
or resources?
But what I was saying with the Clean My Space, it's really nice because she's very big on breaking down chores, making them simple and quick and easy, so you're not like scrubbing everything all the time.
Yeah,
which I think is helpful. I thought I saw something.
Cindy, I have one more quick question though.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Thoughts and feelings, because like I said about I didn't mean to imply that what everybody's doing is easy, but what I'm saying is that I don't have any 5-minute projects because every project is tied to something else. I don't have any file cabinets because they're all full. I don't have another box to push things in because I've got 20 boxes in my living room.
And so that's exactly what we're talking about. So you have these huge projects. So let's just take your filing cabinet for an example. So you said your filing cabinet is full. And so you look at your filing cabinet as one big project and it's full and it's overwhelming. So instead, think of that filing cabinet is full of mini, mini projects. And so you take 5 minutes a day and you grab 1 inch or 5 inches of paperwork and you just pull it out and you do a quick sort. And so you may think, well, that's not accomplishing anything. Sheila, my filing cabinet is freaking full. You're not listening to me. But what we're saying is you're going to take that big project that's overwhelming and you're going to break it up into these mini tasks. And so you just have to start. You've got to do it. You got to suck it up. If you don't want to do it, you're going to do it anyway. You're going to pull out 1 inch of paperwork and you're going to spend 5 minutes sorting it. You're going to throw away anything that can be thrown away. You're going to shred anything that has to be shredded. And if it needs filed, you're going to put it back into the filing cabinet in a folder that says to file, or a box on top of the filing cabinet that you pick up a box at Costco the next time you're there and you write to file on it. And so every day you're just taking 5 to 10 minutes to pull out 1 inch of stuff and to quick sort it.
Or label, you could say, need to keep till X, Y, and Z. That's a big one I do. I just label when I need it till. And then.
But just, that's where we're talking about, you just have to get started. And every project, no matter how big it is full of little mini projects. And the way you make big progress on it is you just start. You just say, I'm going to work 5 minutes on it today.
I wanted to address to Dean, said, I wish I had a buddy who would be more accountable, like an accountable partner. And I was kind of thinking, well, 1, we could be your buddy, but 2, if you're comfortable, you could reach out and just like say, hey, does anybody feel comfortable maybe like a couple times a week sitting with me? Because we all definitely, I think it's much more helpful. Like my mom will come over and she's a very good paper, like she knows what's very important, what's easier when you actually have the paper file.
Right.
And she'll come over and buddy system it with me. So I think that's a great idea. But like, if you're comfortable, you could reach out and just say, I've seen people say that, like, hey, I'm going through my closet. Would anybody want to sit with me and like try stuff on?
Or even calling a friend and saying, hey, I'm going to pull out these, and
ask for a favor,
Can you sit with me?
Yeah, don't be shy to ask for help.
That's what we do as organizers is.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. That's what, as organizers, there's things called what's the word? Body doubling. Why is that? It sounds weird to me.
I know. Also, I was like, wait, is that what it is? Yeah.
Body doubling. It's basically a technique where we're there for support.
Yeah. A lot of time, just
where
support.
We're just there and we're sitting with you while you go through things. And you know what? There's no shame in needing that. I've had people say, why the heck do I have to have you here to motivate me to do this? Because
and I think it's a little bit more fun. You can make a cup of tea and have maybe music if you can handle that. Sometimes you just need to focus. But we'd love to be your accountability partner, Christine. So we will be here next week and we will ask you what task you did. Yeah. And Cindy, does that did that help clarify what we're talking about for when you have a big project where you just start with 5 or 10 minutes a day?
Yeah. But again, that's what I'm saying. My mind goes off on, but if I do that, where do I put it? Literally the filing cabinet is has been in my daughter's closet, shoved, buried for 12 years.
What is this?
I can't put my clothes away in my closet because my closet is blocked. There's nowhere to put anything. I'm at a standstill and I'm afraid to have people come over and help me because a lot of it's like 5 boxes of shredding that I thought I had delegated to my sister. She asked and offered, and a year later brings it back to me because it's personal stuff that I don't want to give to a shredding event, and emotionally it's been 5 years since I took my shredder from my storage unit home, and it almost killed me emotionally just making that 15-minute drive with my shredder. And I did do a 5-minute project taking it out of the box. I did another 5-minute project putting it behind me where I sit at my desk. But now I've used it as a table and it's buried with stuff. But I can't take stuff off for 5 minutes because there's nowhere to put it. I mean, I literally have gotten to where I'm very,
I'm hearing a lot of self-negative talk in there.
Of what?
I'm hearing a lot.
What?
I said I'm hearing a lot of negative self-talk. I'm gonna mute. Sometimes we get feedback when.
Oh, maybe it was mine too.
So I'm hearing a lot of negative self-talk in there. And so that's one of the things is recognizing that and saying, yep, it's been years since I've been able to put my clothes away. So what? I'm going to spend 5 minutes. I'm going to pull something out and I'm going to focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if you have all these projects around, you know, you've got the project of cleaning out your filing cabinet, you've got the project of cleaning out the closet, you've got the project of all the clothes laying around. You have to start somewhere, and it's best if you pick one area to focus on. And I'm just using the filing cabinet as an example. But the important thing is when you pick an item to start on, when you pick a project, let's say I'm going to pick the filing cabinet, you stay on that filing cabinet. We're not going to jump around. We're not going to work on the filing cabinet one day. We're not going to work on the clothes one day. We're not going to work on uncovering your shredder one day. We're going to work on that filing cabinet until it's done.
Until you're happy.
Until you're happy with it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes the organizing process can be very messy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you may have extra boxes or extra garbage bags around. That's okay. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
And then if you, it also sounds like you struggled with this for a while and have a lot of projects. It may be something that you do need help with, and family is not always the best.
I was going to say that can get
to come
lucky.
in because it can be judgmental, or they're also emotionally tied to stuff, and so it just makes it really hard. You'd be a perfect candidate to have one of our organizers, Jacqueline or Margaret or somebody come
have
in
a buddy system
and work with you to just hold you accountable to that and get you on the right track.
And I did want to say too, to April, there is a really good video by the Minimal Mom. It was recently, I want to say in the, like maybe last month, to avoid the bouncing all around. She actually goes through her like front closet or something like that. And this actually will tie into back to what you were talking with Cindy about is she really walks through and shows how to stay on task, because it can get very hard, especially if you're bringing stuff all the way to the garage or you're finding a new place. But she has a really good video that like actually
and that's on YouTube.
Yep, YouTube.
And it's called The Minimal Mom. And so we will we'll take all these resources and notes and we'll put them in the meetup thing to send to you too. So if you didn't catch all that or you're wondering where to go, we'll try to send that out.
Yeah.
And then Gail also commented that there is a shred event at Kitsap Bank in Silverdale Saturday 9 to 1. And so that is this Saturday. And if you go to Blue Nest Homes Facebook page, I posted the event there too, because so it's this Saturday in Silverdale, but they're also doing shred events in East Bremerton, Port Orchard, Gig Harbor, and Paulsbo in the next few weeks too. So one area for there. And then also if you are worried about taking it to a shred event, I would say don't be. They shred it right there on site.
With you there? Oh, that's
they have a big truck and it's being shredded right there. And so I have never had any qualms about taking stuff to a shred event.
Products. I was just making a note to, we'll list all the resources and products.
And can you make a note too? We'll post all shred in Bremerton, because you can schedule all shred to come to your house and they'll pick up the shredding and they'll shred it on site. Or you can take it directly to their office in Bremerton, which with COVID, their office hours have been kind of all over the place, but you can call them.
Good to know. That's a good option though, you know, if you need help with it or, you know, I know that's hard too, but.
Yep. Thank you, April. Yeah, the bouncing all around your house and nothing gets finished. and this is one of the pros of working with an organizer in your home or virtually, is we keep you on task.
Yeah.
So we're going to gently redirect you and keep you on task and keep you held accountable.
Yeah, and when you chip away, like we were talking about the time, and if you chip away at these jobs, then the main goal is that they're more manageable. You know, so we help you focus, get the big jobs done by little steps, and then we set up systems that, you know, work for you so that you can keep up with managing your time or the space and everything. So, you know, but I bet you everyone's doing better. Everyone's their harshest critics.
Yeah,
that's for
that
sure.
negative self-talk, man, it gets in there. We got to replace it with some positive stuff.
Yeah.
So we are coming up right at 11 o'clock, and we want to respect your time. And so, oh, thank you,
Oh,
Gail.
that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I know, I was gonna say, do we have a next week topic?
Next week's topic. Oh my gosh. We're open to suggestions. We will.
Well, I want to know,
that.
how everybody goes through the next couple weeks with this, because this is a lot to just. It really is. I don't want to overwhelm anybody either. I think that's what we discussed. So.
Yeah, and we may talk about the whole sorting process, like when you get when you get into these big projects and you're doing the many things,
like the filing.
Next week, let's talk about how we identify things and how we tackle the massive amount of stuff. Okay, so to help you start tackling those big projects. Okay. All right. Do you offer a virtual service as like daily maintenance? We sure do. We do virtual. So everything's customized to your needs. And so if you want to talk with one of us, we'll do the free consult. And we can do that virtually as well and talk about how we can set it up to meet your needs. But yes, definitely.
And with that, because I don't remember if Christine was here last week, but we did say for this, please send us your pictures and any questions, because we will respond and say, okay, like, looks like maybe you can focus on this zone. You know, we do that too if you need help. Yeah. Like if you're just really stuck on one thing.
Yeah, and Cindy too, if you want to send us a picture of what you're talking about, we would be more than willing to give you some ideas.
Yeah, and help out, or encouragement.
Yeah,
and positivity.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And if you haven't already, I want to ask you if you can look us up when you're sparing your time on social media.
Let's manage.
Like us on Facebook and also find us on YouTube.
Say, you always post tips and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. True. All right. So we will see you next Thursday at 10 o'clock. You'll get a notice through Meetup when we post some of the resources for you, and don't hesitate to reach out and send us any messages.
Yeah.
But have a great week.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
All right. Bye. Guys.